Hello there and welcome to this tutorial where I'm going to explain how to set up an SSTP VPN on Windows Server 2016 and Windows 10 client. Now before we start, we have to make sure that our server has a static IP address. And if your server doesn't, then there are two ways that you can set this up. You can go to CMD, type sconfig to find the server configuration, and in there we're going to go into network settings, which is number 8. Then we're going to choose the network adapter, which I only have one, which is number 0. And here we're going to set network adapter address, which is number 1. Here I'm going to choose static, letter S, and then I'm going to enter an IP address, and I'm going to choose 10.0.0.35. Subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Gateway, it's going to be 10.0.0.1. Once this is done, that means that your server is now under a static IP. Now the other option is you can just go here and wait. Yes, it's done. The other option is you can just go here, open Network Sharing Center, click on the Ethernet, Properties, IPv4, and do the same thing. It's easier here, but some people just like working in CMD. Anyways, now that we have our static IP, we're going to go in our server manager. We're going to manage, add roles and feature, next, next. And here we're going to check the Active Directory Certificate service. We're going to add the features and then we're going to click next. We're going to click next again here, next. Here we're going to check the certification authority and the certificate authority web enrollment. We're going to click next. Restart the destination server. It's recommended even though sometimes it doesn't restart by itself, but let's install it. Alright, now that it's done, you can see here configure Active Directory Certificate service on the destination server. Instead of clicking close, we're going to click this right away. Then we're going to find this pop-up, then we're gonna click next. Here we're going to check both, then we're gonna click next. Then we're going to choose the Enterprise CA. Then we're going to choose root CA, not this one, just root CA. Then we're going to create a new private key. Basically, we're gonna leave everything to default. If you want, you can change these. I'm gonna just leave mine to SHA1. You can change the name here too, but I'm just gonna leave it to default. I don't know why I have a stripe 1 here. Maybe because I have one that already exists, maybe. Yeah, I have one that already exists. I'm just gonna override it. Next, next, and configure. Okay, now that it's done, we are going to close, and the next step that we're going to do, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to open our Microsoft Management Console, and in here we are going to go to File, add Remove Snap-in, and we're going to choose Certification Authority. We're going to choose Load Computer, Finish. Okay, now we're gonna expand this, and we're going to go to Certificate Templates, and in here we are going to right click, manage, and we're going to find the IPsec right here, and we're going to duplicate this template. We're gonna go to general, and we're going to rename it, and honestly you can just give it a name of your own, but I'm going to call it SSTP VPN to make it easier. Once you give it a name, you're going to go to request handling right here. We're going to allow private key to be exported. Then we're going to subject name. We're going to supply in the request, and you're just gonna find this error. Doesn't matter, just press OK. And finally, we're going to go to extensions, application policies. We're gonna click edit, add, and here we're going to find for authentication, if I'm not mistaken, should be here. Here, server authentication. Okay, okay, apply. Okay, and we're back to the certificate template. And now we're going to right click, new certificate template to issue. And here we're going to find the thing we just created, which I called SSTP VPN. We're gonna click OK, and basically we're done with the MMC for now. Now the next thing we want to do is we're going to open our Windows firewall. Now if you do want to use a firewall, then this is the place that you want to be in. But if this is just for the testing environment, you can just go to Windows Firewall and you can basically turn them all off. But let's say you're using a firewall, then we're going to go to inbound rules, new rule, port, and we're going to port forward the SSTP port, which is the 443. TCP, next, allow the connection, next, and you're gonna give it a name. I'm not gonna do it because I already have it in my firewall, so if you have to do it still, you're just gonna give it a name and click finish, and it should pop up in this list. Now once you're done with that, we are going to open, we have to give the user access first, so we're going to go to active our administrative tools. We're going to open directory users and computers, and in here we are going to right click, new user, not a contact but user. It has to be a user. You're just gonna create something, just give it a first name, login, blah blah, give it a password, make sure the password never expires. I'm not gonna create a new one because I already made one myself. Here. Anyways, once you have done that, we're going to right click on the user you just created, go to properties, and in dial in, you are going to allow access. Later you're going to see why. You're going to use this user to log in into their certification server. Anyways, once you have done that, we are going to go into server manager. We're going to add roles and feature. We're going to click next, next, and we're going to find remote access. Right here, remote access. We're going to click next, next, next. Here we're going to check direct access and VPN, add features, and we're going to also check the routing. Then we are gonna click next, restart the destination server, and install. Now that it finished, you will see the option to open the getting set started wizard, but we're not gonna do this, we're just gonna do this manually, so we're just going to close this, and we're going to minimize the server manager for now, and we're going to the MMC again. We're going to file, add remove snap-in, certificates, add computer account, local computer, finish, OK. We're going to expand this personal certificate, and here we're going to right click, all tasks, and request a new certificate. here we're going to just click next, next, and in here we're going to find the SSTP VPN we created earlier with a message saying more information is required to enroll the certificate. We're going to go ahead and click here, and the first thing we're going to do is change full DN to common name, and the value is a value that we're going to give the user, so when they log in the server is going to see a certain name, and let's say that name is going to be vpn.pistachio.xyz. I'm going to give it this value. You can give it whatever you want. You're going to click add, then we're going to click apply, if I'm not mistaken, and then we're going to click OK. And now that the message is gone, we are going to check SSTP VPN or whatever you called it, and then we're going to click enroll. Click on the details to see if everything went okay. Yes, everything went okay. We're going to click finish. Now we are going to press our Windows key R to open the run. We're going to open the resmgmt.mc if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the routing and remote access. Or you can just click start, administrative tools, and open the routing and remote access from here. Anyways, we are going to right click on your server, and we're going to click configure and enable routing and remote access. This is going to pop up, and the next thing we're going to do is click next, remote access, dial in or VPN, Here you are going to uncheck the enable security and the selector interface, uncheck it, and you're going to choose your Ethernet adapter, which I only have one. I'm not going to use the Wi-Fi. We're going to choose the Ethernet adapter with your static IP. We're going to click next, and I'm going to choose from a specific range of IP address. We're going to go to new, and I want to put in between 10.00.80 and 10.00.89, so basically 10 addresses. So let's say that you have a business and you gave a range of 10 IP address. So if the 11th person tried to connect to your server, they will not be able to connect because like there's only 10 IP, and if he's the 11th one, there's no IP for him. So it depends on you if you want to make a bigger range, but I'm just gonna use 10 for now, just for the lulz. We're going to click OK. Then we're going to click next. We're gonna leave this to no. We do not want to use radius. Next and finish. Should pop up a message, error message, anytime soon. Should have been popping up something else, but okay. You're just gonna press OK on both if you find both. Then it's going to start the routing and remote access server. Finish. Now that it finished, we are, oh, this is not a good sign. Let me open it again and see if it went. At least we know that it's on, so yes, it's on. Anyways, after your routing and remote access is on, we're going to go to properties. We're going to go to securities, and here we are going to choose the name we just gave a while ago, which I called vpn.pistachio.xyz. We're going to click apply, and it should ask you to restart the routing. You're gonna click yes. And it's done. You're gonna press OK, close, close. Basically now we're done with the server part, and now we're going to go for the client part. Now, before we go to the client part, there is one thing I think that we are missing. Um, Let me check my server manager real quick. Add roles. Um, while we're here, make sure you have the web server installed. This is very important because you need to access your web server. And, oh yes, here it is. We forgot to install this. We're going to install the network policy and access service. Add feature. Next. 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 Restart the server destination. And install. Okay, now that it's done installing, I think now we can go to the client. And I am going to use my own personal PC as a client for now. And first things first, we are going to right click on Network Ensuring Center, open the Network Ensuring Center, and then we're going to set up a new connection or network. We're going to choose connect to a workplace, use my internet connection. Here you're going to enter the IP address from your server. Now my server is locally, so I'm just gonna type 10.0.0.35. If you have an external server somewhere else, then you're going to need to put the IP from that server here. Here we're just gonna give it a name. I'm just gonna call it SSTP VPN, and we are going to uncheck this. We're going to fill this later on. Then we're going to click create, and after it's done creating, it's gonna close automatically by itself. And to make sure it was created, we're going to go to change adapter settings, and we're going to find this grayed out SSTP VPN. If you don't have it, then you might have to redo the previous step and make sure you have this. Now that we're done with this, we are going to open our internet browser and we're going to type the IP address from your server. And if you have a web page open, means that you successfully opened the web page from your server, which is from your IIS. Now, if you're getting any error by any chance, or you do not see any IIS 8 pages or anything else you have hosted, then you have to make sure that your IIS is installed. If you do not have it installed, that you cannot continue the upcoming steps that I'm going to explain. But anyways, if your IIS is indeed working, we're going to go behind the IP address we typed here, and we're going to type /cert server. And it's going to pop up the authentication required browser where you're going to type the username and password you created in the domain users, which, if I am not mistaken, should be Pastechi. Long password. Huh, great. And after you log in, you're going to find the certification server page, which looks like this. We're going to go to download a CA certificate, and we're going to download CA certificate again, and it's going to download something called new certnew.sir. I'm going to show in folder, and I am going to put it on my desktop. Yes. Means if I close this, you can close it after you're done downloading. Should be here on my desktop. And next we are going to open MMC on our client. We're going to file, add remote snap-in, and we are going to add certificate, if I'm not mistaken. Here's certificate. Add. We're going to choose computer account, if I'm not mistaken. Local computer, and we're going to press OK. Then we're going to expand certificates. We're going to go to Trusted Root Certification Authorities, Certificate. Now, in here, we are going to right click on certificate, all task and import. Then we're going to click next, and we are going to click browse and navigate to where you saved your certificate, which I saved on my desktop. We're going to double click this. We're going to click next. Make sure it's placed in the Trusted Root Certification Authorities. This is very important. Then we're going to click next and finish. The import was successful. Means that now we should see it somewhere in here. Oh, I have a duplicate. Let me just delete the one I created yesterday. Anyways, you should just find it here. Like mine is called this, so if you can find it, means the import was successful. Now that we're done with that, we are going to close the MMC, and now we are going to click on our adapter down here, and we're going to see the SSTP VPN we created a while ago. We are going to click on it, and it's going to open the VPN settings. And here we are going to click on the SSTP VPN, and we're going to go to advanced options. Then we're going to edit, and here we are going to fill the username and the password from your Active Directory users and domain, which is called, for me, we're going to remember my sign-in info, save, and we're going to go back and connect. Completed connection. As you can see, connected. And how do we know that this worked? We're going to open CMD and we're going to type ipconfig. Here you can see the adapter SSTP VPN with an IP of 10.00.81, which worked because our network pool was between 80 and 89, which means it works. Now I'm going to try connecting to a computer that is not in my network. Let me open TeamViewer. Gonna use my girlfriend's laptop real quick. Hope she doesn't mind. Yes. Basically, we're going to do the same thing, but before that, I'm going to open CMD. We are going to ping my server, which is 10.00.35. And as you can see, the destination host is unreachable because she is not on my network. Anyways, we're going to do basically the same step. Let me delete this so we can do the same step again. We're going to set up a new network, workplace, use my internet. Now here, since she is not on my network, I cannot use my internal network, which is 10.00.35. So I am going to use my IP address, which I have a DNS name for, stg.xyz, and I'm going to call it SSTP VPN. We're going to uncheck remember my credentials. We're going to create. Here it is. Then we're going to open a web browser. Any moment. We're going to type stg.xyz. She has access to my IIS, which is great. Then we're going to type cert server. We're gonna log in, download C certificate, download C certificate. We're going to put this on the desktop. Here, then we're going to open MMC, file, remove snap-in, certificate, computer, authority certificate. Mine should already be here, so let me delete these. And then we're going to do the same thing, right click on certificates, alt task import. Next, we're going to choose the certificate. Next, make sure it's in the trusted root certification authorities. Next, finish, import successfully. Close, we're going to click this again, the adapter. We're going to click on this SSTP VPN. We're going to click on it again, advanced properties, edit. We're going to fill the username. Remember my sign-in info, save, go back, and we are going to connect. Connecting, and it's connected. How do we know that it works? We're going to open CMD and we're going to ping the internal IP from my server, which is 10.00.35. And now we are getting a reply. And I'm going to ping my personal computer, which is 10.00.31. Means that we're also getting a ping. We're going to go type ipconfig and we're going to see that the IP is 10.00.82, which is also in the range from the 80.89, means that it works. Now, let me just delete this. Now, there might be a part where you might get a certification check error, and in case you get that, we're going to open regedit. And in our regeditor, we're going to go to local machine, system, current control set, services, and in here we're going to find something called SSTP server. SSTP server here. We're gonna expand this and we're gonna click parameters. And here, you are, let me delete this since I have it already. You are going to right click, new, and we're going to create a new 32-bit D word. And we are going to name this no cert revocation check. Make sure that it's written correctly or else this will be pointless actually. Then we're going to hit enter again, and then we're going to give it a value of 1. And that's it. You're just going to close this. Let me just close these. You're just going to close your regeditor, and that's it. You're basically done. Well, if you like this video, you can hit like and subscribe. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section. I hope this video helped. Thanks for watching, and take care.